All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Anaconda, Montana. Yeah, this is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals. We got the Valkries up first today in doubleheader action as they take on the Lady Copperheads here from Anaconda, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, ready to broadcast this game. And before the game, or pregame, brought to you by the UPS store for all your printing and shipping needs, 439 Grand Avenue in Bigfork, 837-2002, including banners and posters. The UPS store, proud sponsors, Bigfork Athletics, and tell Brad Stotts here, the folks at UPS store, thanks for all they do in sponsoring Bigfork Athletics. Well, had a chance to sit down and talk with the head coach of the Valkries, Courtney Gunlock, before the game, and this is what she had to say about the rest of the season and tonight's ball game against the Copperheads.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to Anaconda, Montana. Yeah, this is a pregame show. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, with head coach of the Bigfork Valkries, Courtney Gunlock, and talking about today's game, the final game of the regular season, and get ready for the postseason. We already know where their seed is and who the matchup. We'll talk about that, but talk about the last couple of weeks. I mean, of the season. Last week, we'll go back to this a great game you guys had against Columbia Falls, and probably one of your top games besides the first Loyola game that you played during the season.
Yeah, it definitely was a game where I thought we had a great team effort, and we were all playing at the level that I know we can play, and it was consistent throughout the game.
Yeah, I take away from that game, if you guys play like that against a Class A school that's ranked in the top 5, I think number 3 overall in the state, unbeaten, you play like that against them, that you weigh against them against these Class B schools, and you can beat anybody in Class B, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And the girls know that. Part of having a young team is the consistency, and we're still trying to improve that, obviously, but we definitely know we have that capability.
Well, then you're a little tired. We went up to Eureka, longer court, and after playing that great game, went down to Eureka, then went to Thompson Falls. Played a good, decent game there, but Thompson Falls took care of their high-low game, and with the height they had, took care of that. But going into those games, you already knew that you were going to be the 3 seed, so I just kind of talk about those 2 games, what you may have learned from playing both Eureka and Thompson Falls, because eventually you could face them in divisionals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think there was a letdown with the Eureka game, and I think fatigue was also a factor. Audrey had injured her back in the Columbia Falls game and wasn't 100%. And Eureka, kudos to them, they shot the lights out that game. So, it definitely was not one of our best performances of the year, and we learned from that. So going forward, I think it would be a better game next time. The T-Falls game, again, I had 3 girls that weren't 100% in that game. They still played hard. I thought our second half was a lot better than our first half. It was a 7-point deficit. I think they beat us by quite a bit more at home. So it's another team we know we can beat.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You guys got down early and down by double digits against them, but your girls never quit. You battled and you pulled within 7. I think you scared them a little bit there at the end, and you got healthy players, individuals, then could be a different ball game in that aspect.
Absolutely.
Well, then you turn around, playing 4 games in like 7 days, and go down. The weather's horrible. You have 3 starters out. You play Loyola, and you lost big to them. But that was kind of expected when you're not playing 3 of your starters. But talk about that.
Yeah, we definitely knew that it was going to be a tough game with 3 of our starters out. But we also knew that they actually needed to rest their injuries so that they could heal. It was also an opportunity for some of these younger ones to show what they can bring to the team, because you never know when there's going to be an injury or foul trouble, and we're going to need to bring one of those players up. I don't think we were mentally as ready to play that game, and so we had a discussion about that. And mental preparedness doesn't matter what your role is on the team. So we didn't shoot great, and I think part of that was mental preparedness. Our free throw percentage was really poor. So again, another learning experience with young players.
but I'll really talk about one player in that game that I thought really stepped up, the freshman, Callie Gambala. Put up 22. I mean, really took over the game in the fourth quarter, and they still had some of their starters out there, but she really dominated the middle, and maybe that's a big confidence building for her going forward. You can count on her at the varsity level in divisionals.
Yeah, no, Callie had a great performance, especially the second half, like you just said. And honestly, we do need to rely on her a lot for a lot of playing time, especially in the post play, going into tonight's game and at divisional. So it was a great confidence booster for her, I think.
So we'll talk about today's ball game. Taking on Anaconda. Anaconda, they matched up well, and they took care of Loyola twice. I mean, a common opponent for you. I really don't count the last game against Loyola that you guys played, but the first game where you beat them by 17, and Anaconda beat Loyola in overtime to get the number 1 seed in 6B, and you're going to take them on today. What have you seen from film or when they played against Loyola that you guys may be able to take advantage of playing them today?
Yeah, I think Anaconda is a great team. Obviously, first in their conference, they have a great young freshman, Patrick girl, that I'm very impressed with, and they have decent post play and good guard play, then good shooters. I think that we have speed on them, and I think hopefully that we can transition on them tonight and look at attacking and definitely dominating the boards.
So a little change from Tuesday night, and I'll ask you this: are you back to full strength tonight, or still missing some players?
Yeah, so we are still down one starter who happens to be our leader and our leading scorer, leading rebounder on our team, Emma Barris. So that's a huge loss that it's definitely going to affect us tonight. But we've also had a discussion with all the other starters and the girls that contribute off the bench that they need to step up, and we need to find points from other people and leadership from other people. So that's what we're looking to see tonight.
Yeah, I think like Callie Gambala, if she keeps playing the way she did, especially against Loyola today, you got Audrey, you got Scout, who's been starting to really dominate in the middle, take care of things, and then Alexa Sari, who's really stepped it up from the three-point range and kind of getting her shot. Those girls, and then obviously Madison Chapias and the girls off the bench. So I look forward to today's ball game.
Yeah. I hope we bring a good performance tonight. So, and I think the girls can. I think they're ready to play tonight.
So because Anaconda is the 1 seed, they'll be on the opposite side of the bracket. So you'll draw Loyola in the first round as being the 3rd seed, them being the 2nd seed for divisional. So, but this will be a telltale sign because you could eventually face the Copperheads in divisional. So I'm looking forward to today's ball game. Thanks for joining me on the pregame. As always, Courtney, just love having you on there. Like to see you on the post game. That's even better. So good luck today to the Valkries, and I'm looking forward to the ball game.
Thank you. Me too.
Right, go Vals.
All right, that was Courtney Gunlock, the head coach of the Valkries, on the pregame show here, brought to you by the UPS store. Well, about 3 minutes till tip-off here. Of course, we'll do anthem and then introductions and stuff before we get started. And let's talk about the starting lineup. Starting lineup brought to you by the Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, including amazing bakery and a deli. Some great chicken down there and all kinds of stuff. Had some breakfast this morning from Bigfork Harvest Foods at 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork, Montana, 837-5010. The Bigfork Harvest Foods. And take a look at their starting lineups for the Anaconda Copperheads girls team. They're 10-5 on the season. And I was talking to Blake, the radio guy, missing some games as all teams have this year due to COVID. But here's the starting lineups for the Copperheads of Anaconda. It'll be a 5'9" senior, number 2, Mia Sullivan-Sanders. At 5'5", junior, number 5, Sammy Johnson. 5'5", senior, number 10, Megan Rich. At 5'7", the freshman that the coach talked about, number 22, McKenna Patrick. And at 5'7", junior, number 32, Alyssa Peterson, for the head coach, Andy Saltenberger. Assisted by Mark Torney and Mary Sandoval. That's the starting lineup for Anaconda. And for the Valkyries today, a little change because Barrett is out today, as Coach talked in the pregame with the injury. I'll start number 14, 5'4", senior guard, captain number 14 is Audrey Benz. At power forward, 5'9", sophomore number 15 Madison Chupius. At guard, 5'8", junior number 30 Callie Martins. At small forward, 5'6", junior number 21 Alexis Sari, and rounding out the starting lineup for the Valkries. At power forward, a 5'11", sophomore number 22 Scout Nadeau for head coach Courtney Gunlock, and assisted by Jasper Torres and Brandy Couture for today's ball game. And that is your starting lineup, brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. 406-270-7384. And just give me a text. Let me know that you're listening out there and got the broadcast going on. We'll get underway here shortly with presentation of the flags, national anthem, and starting lineups introductions here. And we'll get the tip going. Earlier action, it was a Bigfork freshman, or C team, winning over Anaconda 38-34. And Bigfork 8-8-8 on the season. The lights are going out here in Anaconda at the Snake Pit. They redid everything inside. It looks really nice. And we'll stand and get ready for the ball game here. As they present the colors, I'll stay standing and then let you hear the anthem as well as we get underway here in Anaconda, Montana. If you're one of my friends from overseas, add a +1 to 406-270-7384 and text me, let me know you're listening to the ball game out there. A big shout out to Elena listening to Est Speciale Pentru Mini. So, presentation of the colors, and then one of the junior students here at Anaconda singing the anthem today, and we'll keep it right here so you can hear. All right, that wraps up the anthem. And getting ready to go. Tip-off will be brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club, proud sponsors. Thank them Doug and Nancy Baum and the gang. So Anaconda 10-5 in the season. The Valkries 8-8. Divisionals are set. Anaconda is the number 1 seed out of 6B, and they'll take on Mission, the Lady Bulldogs, and the Valkries, number 3 seed, take on the 2nd seed for 6B, which is the Loyola Breakers. And that'll be taking place coming up on Wednesday, March 3rd, up in Eureka. Valkries will get underway as the late game at 7 o'clock that night on that Wednesday. So down here, they got the spotlight on Anaconda in their whites with their dark blue numbers. And the Valkyries wearing their black uniforms with red numbers and the blue trim at the top and on the side. And they got a spotlight here at Anaconda on both teams and announcing them alternately. So Bigfork and then Anaconda. All right, starting lineups here. We're setting the clock at 8 minutes here. So 32 minutes of basketball will bring to you from Anaconda, Montana. It's the Valkyries taking on the Copperheads, and we're ready for tip-off. Chapius will do the tipping, I believe, for Bigfork as usual. And for Anaconda, it'll be number 2, Mia Sullivan Sanders. We get underway. The Valkyries heading left to right. The Copperheads right to left on your dial in this ball game. 3 officials for the ball game, and we're ready to tip it up here in Anaconda, Montana. Tip up. 1. Martins comes down with the left side, top of the key to Benz. Benz as Anaconda man-to-man defense. Sorry in the corner, back out to Benz, top of the key. Benz looking, finds Sorry 3-point shot from the right wing, and drains it. Bottom of the net for Sorry with a 3-0 lead early on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Quickly up. And Patrick will give it up to Rich. Rich in the corner to Peterson. Peterson's shot misses, and Chapius comes up with a rebound on the far side for Bigforks. She'll dribble up slowly. Pressure put on by Anaconda in the backcourt. And Chapius across the timeline. In the corner, finds Martins, pump fake up, off the backboard, no good. Rebound by Nadeau, puts it back up, misses again. Battling for the rebound. Martins down there on the floor. And it'll remain Bigfork basketball as it goes off of Patrick, off her foot, as Nadeau misses a couple bunnies inside, but battling is Martins and Nadeau for the rebound. Benz inbound, Sorry, 3-point shot from the corner, off the rim, comes down to Johnson. Johnson with the rebound, up quickly up for Anaconda, and top of the key, corner Rich. Rich, left corner, 3-point shot, misses everything, and right there is Patrick with the rebound. She'll give it over to Sammy Johnson. Johnson with the left hand off the board and good for 2. And to Benz. Benz looking, finds Chapius. Over the right wing to Martins on the right side. Martins looking, Chapius. Right wing, kicks it in, tries to kick it in to Sanders. Martins right there battling with it, and a head ball. It will be Anaconda basketball. 6:35 to go here in quarter number 1. The Valkyries up 3-2. On the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. So get it into Johnson. Johnson across the timeline. Bigfork. Ben's guarding Peterson. Peterson top of the key. Gives it up to Patrick. And rebound kicked out. Patrick will kick it out to number 5. That's Johnson. Johnson will give it to Rich. Rich, top of the key. Over right side. Blocked there by Chapius on the shot by Johnson. And Anaconda comes up with the basketball. Sanders comes up with it and puts it off the backboard, no good, but it's fouled on the play. And going to the line is Mia Sullivan Sanders. That's the first personal on number 22, Scout Nadeau. And the first team foul on the Valkries. First shot is up and good, ties the game at 3 apiece. 6:05 to go here in quarter number 1. And we're tied at 3 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Sanders with one more. Shot up is good. Anaconda takes the first lead. Chapius will get it into Benz. Benz finds Chapius down the middle. Streaking. As Coach Talk trying to run it. Benz looking underneath. Had Sorry on the baseline. Kicks it to her from Martins. Martins out on the right wing. Back out to Benz. Benz will give it over to Chapius. Chapius tries to feed it into Nadeau. Throws it away, and Johnson comes up with Anaconda. Anaconda, left side. Will kick it over on the right side. Peterson on the drive. And she'll get fouled as she puts it up. Check that. It's number 22, Patrick. Peterson's 32. And Patrick will be fouled, the freshman. That foul's on number 21. Alexa, sorry for Bigfork. Her first personal, second team foul. First shot up by Patrick is good. And she'll get one more. Callie Gambala checks into the ballgame for the Valkyries. And Patrick remains at the line. She'll shoot one more. Makes the second, 6-3 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Anaconda leads to Martins. Martins across the timeline. In the corner. Bad pass. Sorry, can't handle it. And turnover by Bigfork. It'll be Anaconda basketball. Peterson the inbound on the baseline. Checking in, number 10. Jessa Newton for the Valkyries. Inbounded to Johnson. Johnson for Anaconda will come across the timeline. Valkyries in his own defense, 2-3. Over to Patrick, baseline. Gives it a piece in. Sullivan Sanders gets the feed from Peterson and scores the bucket. Into Benz. Benz will give it to Newton. Newton trying to throw it back to Benz. Benz, they call a traveling violation on Andre Benz. It'll be a turnover by Bigfork to Anaconda. So Patrick gets it in and gets it back from Johnson. Rich left side, left wing, looking to drive. Kicks it underneath, knocked away by Chapius and out of bounds. It'll remain Anaconda basketball on the far end. Under their own basket with 4:55 to go. The Valkyries trail 8-3 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Sanders, the inbound for Anaconda. Kicks it out to Rich. Rich on the right side, right corner. We'll give it out to Johnson. Johnson looks to drive back to Rich. Rich driving baseline. Cut off by Benz. Sanders with the basketball. Looking, throws up inside the three-point line and scores 2 to Sanders. Benz with the basketball. Newton, left-handed, goes up the left side for Bigfork. And she drags the pivot foot, and that's a traveling violation. So, a little nervous are the Valkyries in turning it over here early, and they trail 10-3 with 4:31 to go here in period number 1 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. 406-270-7384. Give me a text, let me know you're listening out there. I'll give you a shout out on the radio. Be right back with more of the first quarter from Anaconda, Montana. We're back. It'll be Anaconda basketball. 4:31 to go. And they'll inbound on the far side of the backcourt. It'll be Patrick inbounding to Johnson. Gives it back to Patrick. Over in the corner goes Peterson. Peterson looking underneath. Kicks it out. Sanders on the left wing for Anaconda. Peterson baseline. Check that. Patrick. Out to Peterson. Peterson kicks it over. And the pass a little bit too strong for Johnson. And rolls out of bounds. It'll be Big Fork basketball on the turnover. So Big Fork scoring early on the three-point play by Sari and haven't scored since. 4:10 to go. Ben's in the backcourt. Looking to drive and get across timeline. Finds Chapius. Chapius can't handle it. And give it up. Patrick will give it up to Johnson. Back to Patrick. Patrick puts it up. It rolls in and she got fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. And that's the second personal. Sari's second personal, third team foul on the Valkries. And Patrick will complete the three-point play. And a 13-3, 10-point lead for Anaconda. Benz. Chapius back to Benz. Benz looking. Finds Chapius. Back out. Justin Newton. Sari in the left corner. Throws up a shot. Hits it off the backboard. Didn't quite have her feet set. And a shot off balance. And then turn over to Anaconda. Number 30, Corey Kelly in the ball game now for Anaconda. On right side, Sanders with the basketball knocked away by right to Patrick. Patrick scores. Chapius to inbound, gets to Newton. Newton will give it up to Benz. Benz over to Chapius. Chapius right side looking, driving through is Chapius. Going to drive up, under, gets it up to Nadeau. Nadeau kicks it out. Justin Newton on the left side driving. She'll kick it out, give it up to Audrey Benz. And they're going to call a 3-second violation on the Valkyries. And another turnover by Big Fork early with 3:12 to go. Gambala comes back in the ballgame for Nadeau. And they trail 15-3 on the UPS store scoreboard. Patrick will get it in to Johnson. Johnson, top of the key, kicks it over to Patrick on the right wing. Back to Johnson. Johnson over to Rich. Rich left wing. Back, throws a little bit high, up into the stands goes the basketball. That pass intended for Johnson. It'll be turnover. And what in the stands, I got to change the basketball out and clean it up during this time. And they'll bring out a new basketball. It'll be Big Fork basketball. 3 minutes exactly here, and left to go in the first quarter. And the Valkyries trailing 15-3 on the UPS store scoreboard. In to Benz. Benz looking. Newton with the basketball. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive for Big Fork. Up off the backboard. Looks strong. Misses it. And run down there by Johnson. Johnson will dribble up. Gives it over to Rich. Rich in the left wing. Looking to drive baseline. Cut off by Benz is Rich. And Benz is going to steal it away. Ball bounces around and Benz comes up with it. Tries to feed it underneath to Sari. And knocked out of bounds by Anaconda. It'll be rain Big Fork basketball here on the under the own basket and on the near end. Benz gets it out to Chapius. Chapius looking to go underneath, gets it up. Gambala, look it up, take it up, left-handed. A little bit strong by Gambala. Battles for the rebound. And they said it went off Big Fork. It'll be Anaconda basketball with 2:22 to go here in quarter number one. Johnson with the basketball. Crosses the timeline for Anaconda. Over to Patrick. Patrick will give it up to Rich. Back out. Patrick on the right side. Up to Kelly. Kelly underneath. Will get up to Sanders. As Rich tries underneath. Give it up to Johnson. Johnson kicks it out. Sanders with a shot up off the rim. No good. And Benz tries to run it down, but knocked away and out of bounds by Johnson. It'll be Big Fork basketball. 1:56 to go. Under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number one. And Martins will return to the lineup for Newton for Big Fork. Into Benz. Pressure put on. A 1-2-2 zone defense. Gives it up to Chapius. Chapius right side. Looking. Finds Gambala. Gambala right corner gives it up. Martins. Or check that. Sari puts it up. Looked like she got fouled. No call. Sanders will come up with it on the missed shot. Quickly up Johnson. Johnson looking. Gives it up to Rich. Rich underneath. We'll give it back to Johnson. Johnson dribbles. Throws it to Sanders. Sanders on the right baseline. Looking to drive. Kicks it out. Rich jumper. Off the rim. Rebounded. No good. But rebounded there by Patrick, the freshman. And she got fouled as she puts it back up. That's the first one on Callie Martins, and a 14th foul on Bigfork with 1:21 to go here in quarter number one. First shot up by Patrick is good, and Peterson returned the lineup for Johnson for Anaconda. One more. Shot up by Patrick, and she makes it 17-3. 1:21 to go here in quarter number one. Martins with the basketball. Looking, finds Chapius. And a player control foul on Martins. Her second personal. 15th foul on Bigfork. No fouls called yet on Anaconda here in the first quarter. So out. Shot put up. Off the rim, no good. Sanders gets it. Off the Peterson miss. Rich with the basketball. Gambala gets it out to Sari. Sari looking to drive. Knocked away by Anaconda and out of bounds by Peterson. It'll remain Bigfork basketball in the front court. 1 minute to go here in quarter number one. Martins to inbound. She'll get it up to Benz. Benz top of the key. Finds out Chapius. Chapius right wing looking to drive. Underneath, gets it to Martins. And two of the Copperheads run into each other. There goes Chapius up and under, too much spin, but Martins right there to put it back up and score two. And the injury on Rich as she goes down, and that'll bring Sanders back in the ball game for Anaconda. So should be 17-5. Haven't put it up on the scoreboard yet. And Anaconda with the basketball. Gets it up. Johnson driving. Right wing out to Saunders. Saunders baseline. Finally they put the score up. Out to Kelly. Kelly will get it up to Saunders. Over to Patrick. Patrick to drive. Kicks it underneath. And right there is Chapius. Can merely make the steal, and she can't quite handle it, I should say. And it'll remain Anaconda basketball. 20.7 to go here in quarter number one. Saunders inbound to Johnson. Back to Saunders. Peterson. Peterson looking to drive. Up off the backboard. No good. Right there is Martins with the rebound. She'll give it up to Chapius. Chapius right wing. 12 seconds to go here in quarter number one. Chapius looking to drive. Kicks it over. Martins. Jump shot. Off the rim. No good. Right there was Sari to get the rebound. Can't quite handle it. And Saunders comes up with it quickly, but does not get a shot up. So 1 quarter in the books. And the Valkries trail 17-5 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. We're back here with quarter number two from Anaconda, Montana. All right, welcome back to Anaconda, Montana. Valkries trail 17-5 on your Harvest Foods, the Bigfork scoreboard after one period. Playing without their leading scorer today, out on injury, is Emma Barrett, resting up for divisionals. It'll be Bigfork basketball to start the second quarter, brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. Martins, along with Benz, Nadeau, Chapius, and Sari for the Valkries. Underneath, Nadeau kicking it out, gets it to Sari. Sari Man-to-man defense by Anaconda. Benz over to Sorry. Sorry looking underneath. Back to Benz. Benz top of the key. Sings it over to Martins in the left wing. Back to Benz. Sorry with the basketball. Looking for Chapius underneath. And tries to throw it to Johnson. And Johnson grabs the ball. Turnover to Anaconda. Shot put up by Patrick. Gets her own rebound. Puts it back up to score 2. It'll be Benz with the basketball for Bigfork. Martins. Across the timeline. Dribbling. Finds in the corner. Chapius 2-point shot misses it all. And off of Nadeau as she tries to grab the rebound. And out of bounds to Anaconda. Callie Gambala will come in for Sorry. And Rich back in the ball game for Patrick. Inbound. Johnson quickly up as Bigfork tries to put on pressure. Saunders right wing. Kicks it in the corner to Johnson. Johnson out to Peterson. Rebounded there by Martins. Martins with the basketball for Bigfork. She'll bring it up. Kicks it across the timeline. Gives it right to Saunders. Saunders back to Rich. Off the backboard. No good. Martins with the rebound taken away there by Peterson, I believe. Quickly. It'll be off of Anaconda Bigfork basketball as they battle for the loose ball. With 6:41 to go here in the first quarter, Valkries trail 19-5 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Chapius with the basketball across the timeline. Dribbles right through it. Up under. Gives it up to Gambala. Gambala going baseline. A nice pass by Chapius, but Gambala shoots it short. She's got fouled on the play, and she'll get 2 from the free throw line. The freshman Gambala. First shot up is in and out. That's the first personal against Anaconda. First team foul, and first personal against number 2, Mia Sullivan-Sanders. Here with 6:31 to go in the first half. Second shot, Gambala too strong. Nadeau right there, the rebound. Gets it up, and she got hammered. On the floor, she'll get underneath. No free throws this time for Nadeau, and she'll inbound it. That's the second one on Sanders. Inbound to Gambala. To Benz. In the corner, Chapius. Chapius looking to drive baseline. Up under, gives it to Gambala. Gambala puts it up over the basket. Martins with the rebound, puts it back up, in and out. Sanders with the rebound for Anaconda. Quickly up to Johnson. Johnson, Rich, left wing. Rich in the corner. We'll give it up to Kelly. Kelly looking. Gives it up to Rich. Rich, right wing, looking underneath. The Johnson stolen away. And the whistle blows. Fouls number 15, Madison Chapius. Her first 16 foul on Bigfork. And McKenna Patrick back in, replacing Sanders for Anaconda. Quickly getting into Johnson. She scores the bucket on the in-play. Chapius over to Benz. Benz across the timeline. Give it up to Martins. Martins on the left wing. Back to Audrey Benz. Benz looking for Chapius, trying to buy baseline. Is Chapius. Knocked away by Johnson. It'll remain Bigfork basketball. 5:39 to go here in the first half. Valkries with 5:21 for Anaconda as Martins will inbound to Benz. Benz top of the key. Right wing, Chapius. Chapius back to Benz, Looking underneath, finds Martins on the left wing. Back to Benz. Benz looking to drive. Gives it to Chapius. Chapius quickly gets underneath to Gambala. She gets fouled by Kelly as she comes over the back here with 5:23 to go. That'll be the second team foul. Or check that, third team foul on Anaconda. And the first on number 30, Cora Kelly. Into Benz, underneath. Finds Nadeau. Nadeau jump shot up. Chapius right there battling. And off of Anaconda, it'll remain Bigfork basketball as it's knocked out by Patrick. And it'll be Bigfork basketball here with 5:16 to go. Benz looking. Inbounds, finds Chapius. Right through Chapius' hand, and Johnson comes up with it for Anaconda. Quickly up, underneath. Patrick shoots the floater. On the baseline, scores 2. Bends quickly up, threw it away right to Kelly, missing Martins, and quickly up. Johnson will get over to Megan Rich. Rich, left side, left wing, kicks it out to Peterson. Peterson underneath to Patrick, to Rich. Rich will kick it out to Johnson. Johnson's three-point shot, no good, off the backboard. And Bigfork calls a timeout with 4:40 to go here. And on your UPS store scoreboard, it is the Anaconda Copperheads 23, the Bigfork Valkries 5, here from Anaconda, Montana. We're back with more of the first half here. All right, welcome back to Anaconda. The Valkyries trail by 18, 23-5 here in quarter number 2. Inbound, Chapius will get it at the Bends. Pressure put on. A 1-2-2 press. Chapius quickly underneath to Nadeau. Martins gets on the ground, ties it up with Patrick. And on the arrow points towards Anaconda. So trying to work it underneath. Can't quite get things going. Just Bigfork. Johnson will give it to Patrick. Back to Johnson. Gambala out there, put pressure. In the corner to Rich. Backdoor throws it too strong to Peterson. And out of bounds. Turnover by Anaconda. The Copperheads. And it'll be Bigfork basketball. Alexis Sari back in for Bigfork. Needs some outside shooting to loosen things up. We'll get it into Benz. Benz looking. Middle. Finds Chapius. Chapius looking backdoor. Finds Gambala. Gambala looking drive baseline. Puts it up short. Gets her own rebound. Off the backboard. No good. Sari with the rebound. Puts it up. Bounces around off the rim. No good. Martins had it. Sari comes up with it. Kicks it out to Benz. Benz underneath. Finds Martins. Martins dribbles. Puts it up. And scores two by Callie Martins for Bigfork. Inbound to Johnson. Right there. Pressure defense put on by Bigfork. Martins nearly steals it away. Gets it underneath to Core Kelly on the pass from Patrick. And Anaconda scores. Audrey Benz with the basketball. She'll get it up, throws it away to Patrick. Patrick quickly up to Johnson. Back to, check that, to Rich. Rich misses it, gets her own rebound. Cross to Johnson, baseline to Peterson. Peterson scores it off the bucket for two. Benz gets it quickly up to Chapius. Chapius drives, and she'll go to the free throw line as she got fouled on the strong drive there by Madison Chapius. With 3:04 to go here, the Valkyries trail by 20, 27-7 to Anaconda on your UPS store scoreboard. That's the second personal on Kelly, and the 14th foul on Anaconda. And Chapius at the line. She'll shoot two for Bigfork. First shot are up and good. And Sanders will come back in the lineup for Anaconda, replacing Kelly with two fouls. And at the free throw line, shooting one more, will be Madison Chapius for the Valkyries. Rimmed out right there is battling Patrick. Knocks it over to Sanders as battling for it. Sorry. Right there with Patrick. Gets called for the personal. And it's the 17th foul on Bigfork and the third personal on Alexis Sari. So McKenna Patrick at the line 1-1, and Anaconda in the bonus the rest of the first half. First shot is up and good, and she'll get the bonus. One more. 2:56 to go here in the first half. And the Valkyries out slowly. trailing by 20, 28-8. Second shot up is good. And quickly up, Chapius with the basketball. Backcourt. Will give it over to, and knocked away by Patrick. Megan Rich comes up with the basketball for Anaconda. Shoots the jumper from the left elbow, scores it for 2. And into to Andre Benz. Benz looking, finds Chapius. Chapius finds, went to get it to Martins, kicked away by Anaconda, and it'll remain Bigfork basketball. 2:33 to go. And the Valkyries trailing 31-8 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Sorry will give it up to Benz. Meant for Gambala, knocked away, and Rich comes up with a loose ball for Anaconda. Throws back door to Sanders. Quickly, Patrick off the backboard, no good. And knocked around, Gambala knocks it to Chapius. Chapius quickly up the court, looking to drive is Chapius. And knocked away from behind by Patrick. And Johnson will come up with it for Anaconda. Quickly up, she'll get it to the baseline. Alyssa Peterson drives baseline off the side of the backboard. Shot's no good, but she got fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. That's on Callie Gambala, her first 8th team foul on the Valkyries. And first shot up and good by Peterson. Nadeau back in, replacing Chapius for the Valkyries. One more for Peterson. Second shot up, missed it, no good. Rebounded there by Gambala. She'll give it up to Sari. Sari looking. Across the timeline for Bigfork. She gets trapped over there. Throws it away, and Ben's able to come up with a Bigfork. Audrey Ben's a little strong. Right there, Nadeau gets the rebound, rolls around, misses it, and off of the hands of Patrick. It remained Bigfork basketball, 1:42 to go. Here in the first half. Gambala to inbound for Bigfork. It's got Sari in the corner. Throws it out. Right to Nadeau. Nadeau looking. Out to Benz. Benz looking. In the corner finds Sari. 3-point shot. Left corner off the rim. No good. Rebounded there by Rich for Anaconda. She'll bring it up. Guarded there by Sari. In the corner to Saunders. Saunders right wing. Look at the drive baseline. Kicks it out. Too strong for Patrick. And a turnover by Anaconda. Bigfork basketball. 1:20 to go here. Quickly up. Pass too strong for Nadeau. Patrick comes up with it, gives it up to Johnson. And Patrick will come up, the rebound, puts it up, no good, gets her own rebound, knocked around, battle there. And Patrick with the basketball, she's getting called for traveling as Benz puts the pressure on her. So 1:04 to go. The Valkyries trail 32-8 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. And Benz with the basketball for the Valkyries. Over to Martins. Martins left wing. She'll give it up to Benz. Benz looking in the corner. Finds Sari. 3-point shot. Nope. Fakes it. Benz gives it up. Gambala looking to drive. Puts the left-hander up. Oh, just rolls off the rim. But right there is Sari with the rebound. They're going to call it a held ball. It will be Bigfork basketball. And Jesson Newton will replace Nadeau with 46 seconds to go. Gambala, the inbound, looking. Right there, she gets to Martins. Off the rim, no good. Can't quite buy the bunnies underneath Bigfork. And missed another one by Martins. And rebounded there by Patrick. Patrick will get over to Rich. Over to Johnson, baseline to Peterson. Peterson kicks it out to Patrick. In and out for Patrick, and Gambala with the basketball. We'll give it up to Benz with 24 seconds to go. Benz going across the timeline, finds Callie Martins. Martins underneath. Gambala off the backboard, and good by Callie Gambala for the Valkyries. And 10 seconds to go. Johnson looking quickly, throws it to Sanders. Sanders around the back, gives it up to Johnson in the corner. Rich 3-point shot from left wing. Would have counted it if it went in. Misses off the rim and no good. And 1 half complete. The Valkyries trail 32-10 on your Big Fork Harvest Food Scoreboard. I'll be back with your halftime stats here from Anaconda, Montana, as the Valkries trail 32-10 on your Big Fork Harvest Food Scoreboard. All right, welcome back to Anaconda, Montana, as the Valkries trail at halftime 32-10. Halftime brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. Take a look at it. First of all, for Anaconda, Saunders, I believe, have like 4. Johnson with 4, 2 by Megan Rich. Leading the way is Patrick, though, the freshman. Made all of her free throws. 5 for 5 in the first. So 9 points in the first and 8 points in the second. She has 17 overall of the 32, does the freshman, McKenna Patrick. 1 for Peterson, 17 in the first, 15 in the second, and 32 overall. For the Valkyries, JP is 1 for 2 from the free throw, and a big 3 by Asari, but only 3 points by her. Gambala with 4. Over 2 from the line, and Martins with 2. 5 in the first, 5 in the second, and 10 overall for the Valkyries as they struggle early against Anaconda here. In Anaconda, Montana, we'll be back with your second half here. And coming up after this, we'll put this on there, but we'll switch, and the Vikings will take on the Copperheads. And that will be a preview of the matchup in divisionals coming up on the 4th, which will take place at 11:30 in Eureka, Montana. So you're going to want to stick around for that. We'll shut this broadcast down, and then we'll start it back up with the game for the boys coming up after the girls from Anaconda, Montana. I'll be back with the second half here as the Valkyries trail 32-10 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. All kinds of things at the Athletic Club. And thank Doug and Nancy Mallon for all their support of Big Fork Athletics. We're back here from Anaconda, Montana momentarily. All right, we're back here in Anaconda, Montana. The Valkries trail at halftime, 32-10. And looking, let's see the starters for Bigfork in the second half. It's going to be Benz, Sari, Gambala, Chapius, and Martin. And Anaconda will have the basketball. So Anaconda will state the same starters: Sanders, Johnson, Rich, and Patrick and Peterson here to start the second half. Brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. And again, we didn't hear earlier, Emma Barrett out still with that nagging knee injury. She's going to rest it she's ready for divisionals. All right, inbound to Patrick for Anaconda. Bringing the front court, we'll give it over to Rich. Rich on the right side. Sanders sets the screen. On a give and go. No, Rich has to take it. Gives it over to Peterson on the left side. Peterson underneath to Sanders. Sanders looking back to Peterson. Feeds it up off the rim, no good. And Benz will come up with the rebound for Bigfork. Quickly up. Bigfork. Goes Benz, kicks it over left side to Sari. Sari will kick it over. A little bit too strong for Martins. And Bigfork with another turnover here. And they trail 32-10 with 7:34 to go in the third quarter on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Patrick will give it over to Rich. Rich baseline, driving, cut off there by Sari. Nice defense. Kicks it underneath, knocked away by Benz and out of bounds. It'll remain Anaconda basketball on the near side. Saunders to inbound for Anaconda. Gets it in, knocked away again, this time by Martins, as the pass was intended there for Johnson. Sanders inbound again, so Anaconda will run another play. Quickly gets it in. Off the backboard, no too good by Rich. Rebounded by Patrick. Over the top, she gets the rebound, puts it back up in for two by McKenna Patrick. Benz will give it up. Martins back to Benz. Benz top of the key. Looking. Finds it. Gambala underneath. Gambala found Sari. Sari can't handle the pass. A little strong by Gambala to Sari. And out of bounds. Turnover by Bigfork. Patrick will get it over to Johnson. Back to Patrick. Back to Johnson. Johnson left side. Gets to Sanders. Sanders looking underneath to Peterson on the drive. Peterson scores. Benz quickly. Pass stolen away by Johnson. And Benz tries to knock it away but fouls Johnson. It'll be Anaconda basketball underneath. That's the first on Audrey. First team foul on Bigfork here in the second half. And Johnson to inbound. Or to be Sanders to inbound for Anaconda. She's going to get to Johnson. Johnson looks underneath, looking for Sanders. Right wing will kick it over. Knocked away by Sari. Sari going to look to drive on Patrick, and she got fouled by Patrick. No, one guy whistles for the foul. The other guy whistles for traveling, and they'll call it traveling. Patrick inbound to Rich. Rich looking, pressure put on by Patrick. Gives it, Sorry, Patrick back to Rich. Rich will give it to Sanders. Sanders throws it off the backboard, no good. Right there is rebounded. Sanders gets it back out to Patrick. Peterson. Peterson throws it up off the backboard and it drops for Anaconda. And the basket will count and she'll get fouled and head to the free throw line. They'll check the personal. Second team foul on Bigfork here in the second half. And a second personal foul called on Callie Gambala. With 6:16 to go on the UPS Store scoreboard. 38-10. Anaconda leads the Valkries. Shot up. No good. Rebounded there by Nadeau. Nadeau will quickly get up to Chapius. Chapius. That 2-1-2 defense. Zone defense by Anaconda. Chapius across the timeline. And she'll lose it out of bounds. And another turnover by the Valkries. And Bigfork, Courtney Gunlock is not happy with her team. Tell them to take care of the basketball. 6:06 to go here in the third quarter. And the Valkyries trail by 28, 38-10 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. We're back more of the third quarter here from Anaconda, Montana. All right, folks, we're back here in Anaconda. The Anaconda basketball in the backcourt. Inbounded. Johnson will get up to Sanders. Sanders in the front court. Looking to drive. Knocked away. And Peterson comes up with the rebound. Johnson, the basketball driving. Throws it up off the backboard and drops for two for Anaconda. Inbound. Chapias will get it to Benz for Bigfork. Gets it to Chapias from Audrey Benz. Knocked away right there, and coming up with the basketball. Loose ball is Gambala, stolen away by Johnson. Johnson will give it over to Rich. Knocked away. Benz with a nice steal. Going to quickly dribble across the timeline for Bigfork and set things up for the Valkries. She'll give it up. Sorry. Back to Benz. Benz will get it into. And a nice shot off the backboard by Scout Nadeau for two for the Valkries. Quickly in. Johnson will get across the timeline to Rich. Rich in the corner to Peterson. Peterson guarded by Chapias. Out to Sanders. Sanders looking underneath for Anaconda. Drives. Sanders goes down along with, blocked there by Chapias. Sanders shot, and she comes up with her own rebound on the block shot by Madison Chapias. Chapias handed by Rich. Will give it right side. Back to Chapias. Chapias looking to drive. Up, under. And whistle blows as she got fouled. Check that. See who the personal's on. Cora Kelly back in the lineup for Anaconda. Third personal on Nia Sullivan Sanders, and first team foul on the Anaconda in the second half. Benz to inbound. 3-point shot by Sari. Off the rim, no good. Martins comes up with it. Kicks it out to Chapias. Chapias, little floater, scores it for Bigfork. With 4:25 to go, trailing 40-14 on the UPS Store scoreboard. Saunders quickly up. Kicks it up, knocked away. Martins comes up with a loose ball. And looking to drive is Callie off the backboard. Rim and drops for two by Callie Martins for the Valkries. Quickly in. Rich throws it over to Johnson. Johnson will give it up to Cora Kelly underneath. Peterson stole away. Nice steal by Callie Martins. She'll quickly get it up to Benz. Ben looking to drive. Gives it right to Chapias. Chapias up and under off the backboard. Rim. Oh, can't quite drop for Bigfork. And knocked away. And Chapias hustling will get on the ground. And they're going to call traveling on Chapias. She hustles and dives on the floor after her miss, but travels and turn over to Anaconda. And the Copperheads will take a timeout. 3:42 to go here in quarter number 3. The Valkyries trail 40-16 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. We're back with more with the third quarter from Anaconda. All right, welcome back to Anaconda, Montana. 3:42 to go here in quarter number 3. The Valkyries trail 40-16. And Johnson will get it into Rich. Back to Johnson. Over to Patrick. Patrick dribble up the right side underneath the Cora Kelly. Cora Kelly looked like she took steps, hits it out the backboard, and scores 2 for Anaconda. Quickly into Chapias. Chapias up the right side for Bigfork. Steps it through, gives it to Scout Nadeau. Nadeau out to Benz. Benz 3-point shot from the top of the key. Off the rim, no good. Nadeau right there for the rebound. She'll put up the jumper, floats around, in and out, and Anaconda will come up with a rebound. Is Patrick. She'll give it up to Johnson. Back to Patrick. Patrick guarded there by Sari. Peterson baseline jumper. Drops it for two for Anaconda. 42-16. Into Benz with the basketball. 44-16. 2:54 to go. Over to Chapius. Gets it into Nadeau. Nadeau looking. Bounce pass to Sari. Baseline. Shoots her shot short. And Sari battling there with Peterson. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Sari. Third team foul on Bigfork. And a fourth personal on Sari. And Gambala will replace Chapius here with 2:46 to go. Patrick will get it in to Rich. Over to Johnson. Johnson back to Rich. Left side in the corner. Peterson. Check that. Cora Kelly. 3-point shot from the left corner. Drops for Anaconda. Martins into Benz. Benz with the basketball. Top of the key. Over to Sari. Sari looking. Finds Nadeau. Nadeau back out to Sari. 3-point shot from the left wing. Off the rim. No good. And Cora Kelly comes up with it. And tying up. Martins ties up Kelly. And the arrow points towards Bigfork with 2:14 to go. Here in quarter number 3. And the Valkyries trailing 47-16. Benz to inbounds for the Valkyries. And in the corner, Sari, left corner. 3-point shot short, no good. Rebounded by Rich for Anaconda. And she'll bring it up for the Copperheads. Rich kicks it over to Kelly. Kelly got it there by Bigfork. Knocked away as a pass intended for Rich by Martins. Is Nadeau putting pressure on Kelly. Chapius will replace Sari with the 4 personals. So Chapius, Martins, Gambala, inbounded. Nadeau and Benz for Bigfork. Pressure put on. Megan Rich out. Kelly looking to drive, kicks it underneath. And they say it was off Bigfork. It remained Anaconda basketball. 1:47 to go here in quarter number 3. So Kelly will inbound for Anaconda. Gets it out to Paul. To Johnson. Johnson sinks the jumper inside the 3-point line. And Ben's quickly up for Bigfork. Finds Nadeau. Nadeau looking up under. Tries to go. And they call a traveling violation on Nadeau. Looked like she got fouled, but they called traveling. And it'll be turnover to Anaconda. Patrick to Johnson, back to Patrick, back to Johnson. Johnson across the timeline, gives it up. And underneath to Cora Kelly for number 33. Mania Lunsford. In the corner, Martins, Benz. Right corner, baseline is Chapius. Knocked away by Johnson. Chapius gets it underneath the Nadeau. Nadeau off the rim, backboard, and no good. Shoots it short. And rebounded there by Lunsford. Gives it up to Kelly, or Patrick. 3-point shot over there by Kelly. No good. And Lunsford knocks it out of bounds for Anaconda. It'll remain Bigfork basketball. So Martins comes out. Sari back in. Sanders back in for Anaconda. And Benz with the basketball. She'll get over to Chapius. To Nadeau. Nadeau goes out of bounds off of Anaconda. It'll be named Bigfork basketball. Peterson back in for Anaconda. Checking in for the Valkyries, number 32, Annika Ranson. For the Valkyries, another freshman for Bigfork. Inbound to Benz. 35 seconds to go. Gambala puts it up. Gets blocked there by Lunsford. And quickly up. Saunders, or check that. Johnson will get fouled underneath by Bigfork. 14th foul on the Valkyries. And the second personal on Benz. Inbound to Sanders. Sanders gets it out to Peterson. Peterson looking to drive. Off the backboard, no good. Gambala bothering that shot. Benz with the basketball now. for Bigfork. She'll pull it out and set it up with 16 seconds to go in the third quarter. Chapius gets it to Gambala. Gambala looking to go up and under. And a legal dribble on Callie Gambala. She tries to get it over Lunsford for Anaconda. 10.2 to go. Inbounded to Saunders. Saunders with the basketball across the timeline. Ben's guarding her, putting pressure on her. Gets it over to Lunsford. Gambala with the basketball. Clock's going to run out here in the third quarter. On the UPS Store scoreboard, the Valkries trail 51-16 here after 3 quarters here in Anaconda, Montana. We're back with the fourth quarter as the Valkries trail 51-16. We're back. Fourth quarter action. It'll be Anaconda basketball to start the fourth quarter. Peterson gets it in from Johnson. Back to Johnson, top of the key. In the right corner to Kelly, along with Lunsford. Lunsford kick it out to Peterson. Peterson on the drive baseline. Off the backboard, no good. And fighting over is Kelly. And Saunders comes up with a rebound for Anaconda. Peterson to Johnson. Johnson floats it up off the backboard and drops for 2 for Anaconda. Into Benz. Benz across the timeline for Bigfork. Left wing, Martins in the corner to Ranson. Back out, Benz the top of the key. Looking underneath, finds Chapius. Chapius tries to throw it baseline to Sari and stolen away by Kelly for Anaconda. Gets to Saunders, back to Johnson, back to Saunders. Saunders up the court, harassed there by Chapius. And Chapius will get called for the personal. That's Chapius' second 15 foul on the Valkyries here in the second half. Only 1 team foul on Anaconda. Peterson looking to drive. Gets it out to Kelly. Kelly jumper. The right elbow. Chapius comes down with a rebound for Bigfork. Chapius looking to drive up, under, off the backboard and good. So Chapius goes coast to coast for the Valkyries. They trail 53-18. 6:50 to go. Stolen away by Benz. From Peterson, Ben's off the backboard and good, scores 2. The Valkyries still in the play and still playing hard here in the fourth quarter. Lunsford with the basketball. Quickly up. Pressure put on. Saunders with the basketball. Gets it underneath to Kelly. Kelly puts it off the backboard and she'll be fouled by Ranson. I believe that's Ranson's first. And maybe the 16th foul. 16th foul called on Bigfork. And the first on Annika Ranson. At the line, Cora Kelly shooting 2. First shot up, off the rim, no good. Patrick back in for Anaconda. One more. Drains it, does Cora Kelly. Rich will come in to replace Kelly. Nadeau will come in and replace Chapius for the Valkyries. Benz with the basketball for Bigfork. Kicks underneath, finds Nadeau. Nadeau goes baseline. Back to Nadeau on the feed from Sari and misses the layup. Does Nadeau. Rebounded there by Anaconda and Patrick. Gives it to Peterson. Peterson throws it underneath. Right side to Rich. Rich's shot no good. Right there is Patrick and Martins battling for the rebound. And Patrick will come up with it for Anaconda. They'll call a personal on Bigfork. A 7th team foul on the Valkries. And that's Callie's 3rd. 17th foul. At the line, Patrick to shoot 2. So 17 fouls against Bigfork, 1 against Anaconda here in the second half. And the first one is good by Patrick. They'll get one more. JP is at the scorer's table. Check back in for Bigfork. In and out, no good. Sanders with the rebound and puts it off the backboard and good for Anaconda. Martins will give it up to Benz. Benz across the timeline. Underneath to Nadeau. Nadeau finds Sari underneath. She can't quite handle it. And a held ball. As Gambala and Chapius return, replacing Martins and Nadeau for Bigfork. 0 points towards the Valkries, and they have it inbound. Ranson gives it up. Gambala gives it up to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive up under Chapius, misses it. Gambala comes up with a rebound, kicks it out to Ranson over to Benz. Benz looking. 3-point shot on the way by Sari, no good. Patrick gets the rebound for Anaconda. Stolen away by Sari, and Sari to drive up, scores the bucket. She'll get fouled by Patrick, and she'll go to the free throw line for the Valkyries, trying to complete a 3-point play. Second team foul on Anaconda. Foul on 22, Patrick, her first. Second team foul. Shot from the free throw line, in and out by Sari. 57-22 on the UPS Store scoreboard. The Valkyries trail here in the fourth quarter with 5:19 to go. Baseline, Rich, off the backboard and good. Inbound to Benz. Benz quickly up, right side, gets it out. Chapius underneath to Gambala. Baseline is Ranson. Ranson's jumping from the baseline from about 10 feet out is good for the Valkyries. Into Rich. Rich across the timeline, looking to drive in the corner to Peterson. Peterson shot no good. Rebounded up there by Lunsford. Lunsford scores the bucket for Anaconda. And 4:40 to go here in the ball game. Chapius on the drive for Bigfork. Up under, nice move. And she got fouled. And she'll go to the free throw line. So Lunsford going to get called for the personal. That's the third team foul, first on Lunsford, and Chapius goes to the line to shoot 2. First shot up the back of the rim and no good. She'll get one more. Does Chapius. 61-24 on the UPS Store scoreboard in the Valkyries trail. Second shot up and good, 61-25. Into Patrick, up to Rich. Rich right side. Look like a carry to me. Yeah, he's calling it illegal dribble on Rich. So the baseline ref catches it. Number 3, Bianca Torney checking in for Anaconda. And Chapius will inbound to Benz for Bigfork. Underneath, Gambala. Tries to get into Sari, knocked away there by Patrick of Anaconda and out of bounds. And it'll be Bigfork basketball. 4:26 to go. Ranson will get it into Chapius. Chapius left wing. Gambala will give it up to Chapius. Chapius trying to go up and under. Baseline jumper by Ranson, no good. Chapius with the rebound. Player control foul they call on Chapius. And that'll be 18 foul, third personal on Chapius. No free throws in that case on player control. Inbounded to Anaconda. We'll give it up to Lunsford. Lunsford, one dribble, gives it up to Rich. Rich looking to drive. Back to Lunsford. Lunsford looks like she traveled there. Didn't call it. Back to Peterson. Peterson will get baseline to Torney. Torney back to Lunsford. Lunsford here knocked away by Gambala. Gambala looking to go coast to coast. Goes up, left-handed layup is good. Scores the bucket. And foul by Peterson, and she'll go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play. 3:49 to go here in the ballgame. And the Valkyries down 61-27 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Gambala to the line. She'll shoot the end one for the Valkries. Shot up off the rim, no good. Rebounded there by Patrick. Quickly up, Rich. Rich will shoot it off the backboard and score 2. Benz with the basketball for Bigfork. Gets it to Gambala. Gambala going up, and she's going to get bumped and fouled by Lunsford. Lunsford doesn't think she got fouled, but she definitely got it with the body on the block. And Gambala goes to the line to shoot 2. 15 foul, second personal on 33, Mania Lunsford. First shot is up and good by Gambala, and she'll get one more. 3:36 to go here in the ball game. Gambala with the basketball. She'll get it one more free throw. Puts it up, rims in and out, and knocked out of bounds by Chapius. It will be Anaconda basketball. And a timeout take. No, check that. Substitution. Number 12, Nevaeh Cook checking in the lineup for Anaconda. Peterson will give it up in the backcourt to Patrick. Quickly up to Tony. Back to Peterson. Over to Patrick. Patrick looking to drive. Knocked away by Chapius. Chapius looking to go baseline all the way to the basket. Chapius off the backboard and good for the Valkyries. 63-30 now. 3:10 to go. Quickly up is Cook, guarded by Benz. Kicks it over to Peterson. Peterson baseline. Will give it up. Benz comes up with the steal, and she'll get fouled by Cook as she stepped in and intercepted that pass. Megan Cook, first personal, 16 foul. One more, and the Valkyries will be in the bonus. And Chapius inbound to Benz. Underneath. Finds baseline, sorry. Jumper, no good. Right there is Gambala, puts it up, no good. Hits her own beam out, puts it up again. And this time she gets fouled. And she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And check. 17th foul on Anaconda. And Torney's first personal. First shot up off the back of the rim, no good by Gambala. Cadence Lunsford checking in for Anaconda now. There's 2:48 left to go. Second shot, no good off the rim. And knocked out of bounds by Chapius as she battles for the rebound. It'll be Anaconda basketball. 2:46 to go in the ball game. They trail 63-30. Inbound. Patrick with the basketball. Pressure put on by Benz. Patrick dribbling across the timeline. Bounce pass intended for Lunsford, and she can't quite get to it, and it'll be Bigfork basketball. Chapius to inbound to Benz. 2:30 to go. Inbound, Gambala baseline, knocked it. Meant for Ranson, and knocked out of bounds. Off Bigfork to the Anaconda basketball. Inbound to Cook. Cook quickly up. He's underneath to Cadence Lunsford. Scores the basket off the backboard. Benz with the basketball. Quickly underneath, throws it away. Intended for Gambala. Right to Lunsford. Lunsford gives it up to Patrick. Patrick across the timeline for Anaconda. Cook driving. Kicks it over. Shot up. In and out by Torney. No good. Rebounded there by Anaconda's Lunsford. And back over to Torney. Shot on the way. And Gambala. Or check that. Cook and Chapius tied up. Arrow points towards Anaconda. And inbound is Cadence Lunsford. She'll inbound looking to get the ball in quickly. Knocked away by Sorry tries to save from going out of bounds. Can't quite get there as she knocked it away. It'll be turnover to Bigfork. And Torney the inbound. She'll get it into Patrick in the front court. Top of the key. Over to Torney, right wing. Torney looking. Finds Lunsford back door to Patrick. No good. And Mania Lunsford gets called for the personal. That's going to be the 8th team foul on Anaconda. And going third on Lunsford and Gambala at the line for a 1-on-1. Shot no good, rebounded. Loose ball, Anaconda comes up with it. Does Torney. She'll give it up to Cook. Cook underneath. Patrick off the glass and good for Anaconda. And quickly up Chapius for the basketball for Bigfork. 1:07 to go here. Gambala looking to drive. Takes it up off the backboard. No good. And rebounded there. Looks like Sari gets it. She'll get fouled and go to the free throw line with 59.8 to go. And the Valkries trailing 67-30 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. First personal on Cadence Lunsford. 19th foul. And Sari to shoot 2. First shot up the front of the rim, no good. And Ellie Jort at the scorer's table to check in. And looks like she's going to go in for the shooter. Sari's second shot up off the rim, no good. Gambala battles for it. And Ellie Jort, number 31, will check in the ballgame for Bigfork. And then out of bounds off of Anaconda, so remain Bigfork basketball. Ranson looking. Corner, left corner. For Gambala, stolen away by Cook. And Benz steals it away back, but going to get called for the personal. Good hustle by the senior Benz. 54.3 to go. And at the line, shooting a 1-on-1. It'll be number 12, Nevaeh Cook. Third personal on Benz, 19th foul. First shot, no good. And Chapius will run it down for a Bigfork. Chapius across the timeline. Up, under. Finds Gambala. Right there. Right back to Jort. Jort puts it up. Can't quite make it. And Lunsford with the basketball will give it up to her sister. Nearly stolen away by Gambala. Gives it up to Lunsford. Lunsford looking. Underneath. Out to Torney. Torney. Lunsford looking to drive. And they knocked away by Benz with 25.8 to go. And the Valkyries trailing 67-30 on the UPS Store scoreboard. Well, Lunsford to inbound. Tries to get it to her sister. And does. Guarded there. Patrick puts it up. Scores 2. They didn't need to score anymore, but 69-30. Benz quickly up top of the key. We'll give it over to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded there by Anaconda. And Patrick with the basketball. Going to run the clock out. And your final 69-30 on the UPS Store scoreboard. The Valkyries take this one on the chin and move to 8-9 on the season. And I'll be back with your full game stats here momentarily from Anaconda, Montana. Welcome back to Anaconda, Montana. Wrap this up because we've got the boys game coming up next. Post game brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. Take a look at the stats for Bigfork and Anaconda here. Here momentarily, let's see if I got it here. Yep, did. Saunders with 8, 10 by Johnson, 4 by Megan Rich. Leading the way, 24 by the freshman Patrick, 10 by Kelly. Peterson with 7, 4 by Mania Lunsford, and Cadence Lunsford had 2 for Anaconda. 4 to Valkries. Take a look at it. 2 by Audrey Benz, 8 by Madison Chapius, 5 by Alexis Sari, 2 by Scout Nadeau, 7 Callie Gambala leading the way. Her second to Chapius, 4 by Callie Martins, and 2 over by Annika Hansen. So that wraps it up as the Valkyries take this one on the chin. 69-30 with no Emma Barrett today. That'll wrap up things for the Valkyrie basketball, and we'll catch you from divisionals coming up at 7 p.m. on the 3rd of March, up in Eureka, Montana. So your finals, 69-30, the Valkyries lose this one, and we'll take on Loyola at 7 o'clock in the divisional tournament coming up in March. Thank you for joining me. I'll shut this down and be right back with the Vikings basketball here on BFSD events here on YouTube from Anaconda, Montana. Thank you and good night.